In this discussion, we're going to begin a series of lectures that discuss Chapter 22, which is the lymphatic system, and also the concept of immunity. And just very briefly here, I want to touch on the functions of the lymphatic system before we move into some of the other details. When you think about the lymphatic system, there's going to be three primary functions. Those functions I'm going to give them to you now. The first major function of the lymphatic system is to simply reabsorb excess interstitial fluid. If you recall the process of bulk flow, and that's mentioned in Chapter 21, bulk flow is an exchange of fluids between the blood and basically interstitial fluid. Fluid leaves a capillary and becomes interstitial fluid, and then some of the interstitial fluid is reabsorbed back into the capillary. Well, the reality is you will filter out or dump more fluid into the interstitial fluid than you will reabsorb back into the capillary. And because of this, there's about, on any given day, on an average, about 3 liters of fluid that are essentially left behind within the interstitial fluid by this process. Well, in and out of the lymphatic system, and its first major function, the job of the lymphatic system is to reabsorb that excess interstitial fluid. Secondly, here we could say that the lymphatic system carries out or participates in immune responses. As it goes about doing its job of reabsorbing excess interstitial fluid, the lymphatic system will also help facilitate those immune responses. And third and finally, here we have absorption of dietary lipids. When we look at lipids, they're fairly large molecules, and as we discuss some of the structure and the anatomy later in this chapter, you'll see that the lymphatic system has the ability to accept these larger clusters of lipids, and that would be why the lymphatic system functions to absorb dietary lipids. So those are your three functions here of the lymphatic system: reabsorbing excess interstitial fluid, participating/carrying out immune responses, and also absorbing dietary lipids.